everybody, Bunny Berry here, 100-day raw food challenge, day 47. So as you can see, I am back from Raw Spirit Festival, where I had an amazing time and met lots of great people. All the raw food challengers who are at Raw Spirit Festival. I can't tell you how much fun I had meeting you guys. And I put my pictures up on Flickr, and I know Ruby Vroom and Angela have been putting their pictures up, and hopefully everybody's going to put all their pictures up so that we can have them in one place. You know, Raw Spirit Festival was really a life-changing experience for me, I think. And I made friendships there that I cherish very much and I'm looking forward to cultivating. But I described it as sort of, I felt this shift in the plate tectonics of my soul. And, you know, they say Sedona, we met a lady named Marcella who says that, you know, Sedona brings those kind of emotions up. Well, I felt it coming up. Maybe it was seeing the laughing yogi every time I turned around. But I did have this shift in consciousness while I was there, and I started thinking a lot about my relationship with food and about how disconnected I have been from my food sources pretty much for my entire life, and how strange that must seem, or that would seem to somebody like, you know, our grandparents that grew their own food and, you know, raised their own chickens and, you know, kind of lived that self-sustaining lifestyle. And how quickly we went backwards and got away from that and became so convenience-oriented. And, you know, when I was looking out across all the products and the people who were there and listening to people speak, you know, Chris Carr said something that just struck me like a bolt of lightning. She was talking about how it's not enough to just change your lifestyle and to become a raw foodist or become whatever it is that you are. But you can't just become it. You need to also educate yourself about it. So I have a stack of books here that I have picked up over the last couple of days, and I've actually been devouring books. There's a whole stack here. And you know what? Not one of them has to do with raw food. Not one of them is a raw food book. The first one that I have been devouring is a book called Animal Vegetable Miracle by Barbara Kingsolver. And what this book is about a family who went on a journey for a year to deliberately eat food that was from their own neighborhood, you know, within their own community. And so whether that meant getting food from their local farmer's market, or it meant planting a garden and raising hens for eggs, they really committed themselves to keeping it local. And, you know, when you think about your relationship with food, I realized that there are huge gaps in my practical life skills when it comes to my relationship with food. It's all a convenience-based relationship. I go to the store, I get what I want, I come home, I prepare it, I eat it. You know, there's very little work involved there. And because there's very little work involved and it's easy to just pop it in my mouth, it does make it a little bit easier to just kind of disregard where it comes from, or disregard how it's been processed, or disregard my relationship with it. And so I'm very interested in being a more seasonal raw foodist and becoming more of a locavore, as it were, buying products that are local to me, I've always had this sense, this kind of like little weird feeling in the back of my mind about driving to Whole Foods, which is 40 miles away from me, to pick up a young coconut that's come 5,000 miles from somewhere else. And not to say that those foods aren't fabulous and awesome, and I definitely want to make them part of my diet occasionally, but I've always had, since my first 100 days, this sort of like little bug in my ear that made me want to keep it very local. My first 100-day challenge was like, I'm not going to get anything that I can't find at my local grocery store. And I'm kind of ready to take that relationship with my food one step further. So I've also picked up a couple of books and talked to Basil about it, and we are going to become farmers in our own yard. We got a book called The Self-Sufficient Suburban Garden, and of course the book on composting, and a book on the self-sufficient life and how to live it. So that is just to give you guys an idea of kind of what has been happening with me mentally while I was at Raw Spirit Festival. I had the opportunity to work with a wonderful man named Jeff Rose at naturalzing.com, natural Z-I-N-G, so go check Jeff out. He's awesome, and he's an online retailer. So if you have a hankering for olives, raw olives, or snackies, or supplements, they carry everything pretty much from dehydrators, blenders, to right down to snack bars and treats. So go check him out. Had a wonderful time working with him over the weekend. So yeah, basically I've been thinking about that relationship with food and wanting to make my relationship with food a little more knowledge-based and get a little more education. The extent of my education of nutrition is the food pyramid that I was taught about in school. So I'm looking forward to, with my family, learning more about how food grows, what it tastes like when it comes right out of the ground, really experiencing slow food, as it were. Not food that I can just pop in my mouth from the grocery store, but food that has come from my own planting and cultivating and whatnot. So I'll tell you guys more about Raw Spirit Festival throughout the week. Just wanted to check in and let you know where I'm coming from. And I don't know. I'm going to get busy. Basil and I are going to get busy planting our fall garden. So how's your day 47 going? Eat your veggies.